How's it going? Welcome back to the show. This is You Made Roscoe, and I am Roscoe. And today we're going to be doing a reaction to the song The Maven. And this is by K-Rino. So we'll be checking this out before we do that. I do want to ask for anybody who hasn't that they please subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you hit the notification bell. And also make sure that you go over to K-Rino's homepage and do the same thing because we do want to support the artist. And I'm going to give a shout out here to Alyssa Madrano. That's really, really close to Alyssa Milano, but Alyssa Madrano, I want to say thank you for suggesting that I check this out. And I'm always like incredibly excited when I get, hip hop suggestions from women, especially ones who seem like they're, very in tune to the music. And for any lady who's a fan of K-Rino, that really says a lot about them, because that's not somebody who's looking at just, the surface level and, looking at all of the stuff. What's the word that I want to use? There's a word that was superficial, stuff, and actually looking at, the depth of the music, and so Alyssa, you're a real head. You messing with K-Rino, but much love to you. I appreciate you, and we're gonna go ahead and start this up. So let's do that.
Tonight on Lyrical Masterpiece Theater, I will be reading one of my great works, The Maven, The Maven, The Maven, The Maven, The Maven.
Already sounds crazy epic. Finally, the words popped up, but I'll push it back just like a second. So yeah, but yeah, this already sounds epic. It sounds, even the title of this song sounds very Shakespearean, Shakespeare-ish, but yeah, no, it sounds like it's gonna go down. It sounds like a story, a real story should be told. The Maven, I like that. But let's keep it going.
After years of mindless content and frivolous crap, a man became dissatisfied with the condition of rap. The powers dumbed the lyrics down and made the listeners adapt. Soon his mental play became a blinding mist on the map. But his vision was never phased because his eyes had been raised. Over time he came of age and then grew wise in his ways. He reflected on the great artist and summoned the gall. Then he envisioned hearing one writer who encompassed them all. To overcome this ignorance, nothing was stalled in his thirst. He spent hours collecting, reading, studying all of their works. Traveled all over the planet where great thoughts were bestowed. Sat with preceptors and sages from all parts of the globe. Read relentlessly for weeks before deciding to speak. He mastered every vocal tone and every writing technique. A scholarly product with a self-made prodigy conscious. He memorized past, present, and future bodies of knowledge. Organized it, knowing the solution soon to be born. His next step compiled it all into a humanly form. Though he was eloquent and delivered words with intricate timing and possessed lyrical skill, he had no interest in rhyming. So he ventured down to his lab, which had been his escape. And after working for 20 days straight, an image was shaped. He deposited all his wisdom, every infinite trait. And when he finished, he rendered what he had infinite was great. His creation laid on the gurney, once summoned it rose, and instantly began to compose the most dominant flows. Every hour of the day, a different style he created. And when he spoke, every man, woman, and child could relate.
Yeah, I bet they could. I bet they could. Let's push this back just a little bit here. I'm gonna do like, let's just say like that. And no, everything that he's saying right now, how he started the rap was very real about how the powers that be, they set it up so, we get a lot of dumbed down music and stuff like that, and nothing of real substance. And it seems like, as the story continues, a Frankenstein monster is being created, a hip hop Frankenstein, if you will, is being forged right now, according to the story. But yeah, putting all this great stuff into this so-called Frankenstein, to be able to combat a lot of the nonsense that we have in hip hop right now. So we'll see where the story goes. But and it's funny because Alyssa, she said that this was, in her opinion, the greatest storytelling rap ever in hip hop. And that's saying a lot, because there's some great storytellers in music, period. But in hip hop, we have some great ones. A lot of people would say that Slick Rick is one of, if not the greatest, at that. But there's a lot of others. There's probably a lot of people who I can't even mention. I know that one of my favorites is the rapper Fonte from the group Lil Brother. He does a great job of telling great stories and staying in the staying within the context of a specific thing, when he does his thing. So I think about all those guys, so K-Rino is going, for her to say this is a lot, and I'm not taking that away from you, Alyssa, because and she did preface, or not preface, but she did add that it was her opinion, and that's what music is. Music is subjective anyway. So, and I've said it before, my favorite is not going to be your favorite, more than likely, but it is what it is. That's the great thing about music. We all have our own tastes and reasons for why we attract to this stuff. So let's keep this going.
Every infinite trait, and when he finished, he rendered what he had infinite was great. His creation laid on the gurney, once summoned it rose, and instantly began to compose the most dominant flows. Every hour of the day, a different style he created. And when he spoke, every man, woman, and child could relate. Just when it seemed the population might be hurled to its grave, the man smiled because he thought now that the world would be saved. And soon the sky is where the mental surface would be. He had successfully manufactured the perfect MC. The intellect that passed to his brain, the masses obtained. And within days, the nature of the game had drastically changed. Through his sovereign will, deep marvelous thoughts were revealed. And those who held on to the madness got slaughtered with skill. Lyrical prototype who wrote words for the love, not wages. And the greatness of his rap pages would pass through the ages. The motivation to make meaningful songs was contagious. Each writer evolved daily through his creative stages. The negative ideologies of life were uprooted. The first 365-day cycle concluded. But on the 366th day, it was strange. The creation the man had brought to life was starting to change. Accolades under his name and international fame, until totally uncontrollable he slowly became. Intoxicated by his own flame, so arrogance reigned. The insane notion of world dominance mastered his brain. Exploitation of the game through the skill that he used. He had evolved into the same thing he was built to remove. Trained and ingrained in his memory was unmatchable ability. Natural skill indeed, but he was lacking in humility. The builder watched his dream disappearing in haste. With tears in his face, his creation was clearly a waste. The mistake that he made in making a rapper of that caliber, he focused on talent and knowledge, but added no character. Now it's racking the streets with a savage mystique. Deadly havoc he wreaked with every paragraph he would speak. So the man searched traveling roads, famished and cold, looking for a mechanical load in tyrannical mode. Since he decided,
let me stop this. Let me stop this. This is a great story right here. It seems as if that that MC that was built to change the game and change the game from a lot of the bad things that had taken over the game. Eventually, this guy he started slipping into that same mindset and creating that same type of music. You know, and that's happened to some guys before who started a lot of people in music. Period. Came in one way, and then once the industry polished them up, they were a whole nother act. It was saying, but yeah, no, this is a crazy. I mean, a real story, but this is crazy dope. Because I thought this was just gonna be like 8 minutes of how he's built this great MC to take over and how he took over. Which it still could go that route, but right now it seems like that MC that was built to take over is slipping in the darkness. Slipping in the darkness. Yeah. That's what they doing. But let's keep this going and see how the story turns out.
streets with a savage mystique. Deadly havoc he wreaked with every paragraph he would speak. So the man searched traveling roads, famished and cold, looking for a mechanical load in tyrannical mode. Since he designed him, he felt it mandatory to find him. The goal was to catch him, deactivate, then realign him. As he searched and explored, he saw things were worse than before. Heard a murderous roar, followed up by verses of war. He ran up to a door where a stranger took him the key. Once inside, a voice straight ahead said, "Looking for me." And there he was, with a smile as if he liked that he found him. His mic was astounding, plus he had disciples around him. As the man approached, he heard these three words: "I dare you." He said, "You're not yourself, come back to the lab, I'll repair you. I can't have you killing rap, so come with me, I implore it." He said, "Your existence versus mine, I'll battle you for it." He thought and said, "Oh, no, I want no parts of a flow. Why would you turn against the man who taught you all that you know?" That's when he laughed and said, "I'm the one that you should kneel to." He said, "You stupid fool, you didn't build me, I built you. Programmed you to be like me, I propelled this confusion. Every detail of our histories is spelled a delusion. When I tried to teach you my plans, you rebelled on the movement. So I banished you and held you in a hellish seclusion. My craziest deeds, you were just unable to heed. So the idea that you created me, I made you believe." The man said, "I worked on this for years, it's lies that you speak." He said, "I made it to appear's years, it's only been weeks. I'm the architect of you, and every bar that was formed. Raise your right sleeve, I'm sure you've seen that scar on your arm. How I assembled you is too complex to try to describe. But if you peel that scar, you'll notice several wires inside. You were my greatest masterpiece, top of the line of my clones. But I developed you so well, you gained a mind of your own and started spreading conscious thought, east, west, south to the north. So I drew you out of solitude to finish you off. And though it's definite, you possess several lyrical elements. You're scared of expressing it, that's why you're vocally hesitant."
Uh, yeah. Now the man that created this great MC to change the game want to take it. You know, somehow, I don't know if the Maven is um, a representation of the industry, you know, but it almost seemed like that to me, because at the end of the day, these labels, the companies that run the record labels and all that stuff, they're the one who create these. They're the final say on who's going to be, the hot rapper, of the day. But yeah, no, that's what it sounds like. Like the Maven is the industry, maybe. I don't know. But let's push it back, like right there. Maybe like right there. And let's finish out.
To the north, so I drew you out of solitude to finish you off. And though it's definite, you possess several lyrical elements. You're scared of expressing it, that's why you're vocally hesitant. Discouraged, the man dropped his head and said it's no use. Looked at the wires in his arm and slowly pulled them loose. Then both good and bad ideologies mentally flash. The conscious forces and the wicked forces instantly clash. And everybody in the room vaporized in a flame, till eventually the two men were all who remained. The anarchy that ensued caused the world to divide, and the followers of both sides began to collide. And then the ceiling opened up and they both looked in the sky. There they saw the giant silhouette of a much bigger guy. He commanded everything to stop and nobody moved. He said this war is over right now and both of you lose. You lose because you took the talent that you possessed and got obsessed with power and used it to conquer the rest. See, you were blessed with the best, given the lyrical rod. You didn't build this man, that was a deceptive facade. The other man said, I knew it, but sir, how did I lose? The giant said you had the skill to challenge, but you refused. He said, I came to fix him back, so this fight I'd avoid. He said some things can never be fixed, they must be destroyed. And though you tried to reason with him, don't believe you succeeded. Many were lost because they didn't have the wisdom they needed. So you deleted all your hard work, your moment was here. But you failed because your power wasn't strong as your fear. This test is completed. They said, who are you? Then I spoke and said, my name is K-Rino, and I created you both.
Hey. All right. Cool beans, cool lotta. All right. That was The Maven by K-Rino. And that was extremely dope. That was extremely dope. There's nothing better than a great story, a great hip hop story being told. And this was one. I'm still confused as to like what he said. He created them both. Like is now like he's talking about two sides of himself, or like I'll figure it out. But that's what it feels like though. So it apparently is not the industry who created this MC in this song. It's K-Rino. So maybe he's talking about the two sides of himself that are battling with each other. The guy who wants to stay true to how the hip hop purists would look at the art and the culture, as opposed to that guy who wants to just go out and make whatever's going to make the type of songs that are going to make the money more than likely, but it's going to put out the wrong imagery, the wrong type of messages in the song, all this type of stuff. So maybe it's closer to that type of thing that's happening right here. Is that duel with himself. But yeah, no, this this is a pretty amazing song, you know, that I still, I don't have to go back and make sure I listen to because there's been a couple of times where, um, I've done the reactions to these, and then there was still some stuff left on the table that was left to uncover, and then I'm being told in the comment section that I missed something, and I'm like, all right, like so many layers, but yeah, no, I like that. I like to uncover and to figure out and that type of stuff. It makes it fun and interesting, and who wants to be on the opposite spectrum of that, you know? Um, and unless you're like when you want dull all the time and boring, who wants that? But yeah, I like that. I like interesting artists with who have something to say, clever ways to put it to come across, with their messages. And K-Rino is one of the best ever at that, and doesn't get enough love for that, But he did an amazing job with this. He really did. But I'm gonna give it a huge thumbs up, like that big, the 3D version, and I'm gonna go. But before I do, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the share button, hit the playlist option. You'll pick the one named K-Rino Reactions. I do have a playlist for him. You'll see this along with everything else that I've reacted to that features him. So, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Gappy. But I do have playlists for other artists, a lot of great music by those artists, a lot of different genres of music. So when you get the chance, please check that out. I feel like I said that twice over. Cash App, dollar sign, you made Roscoe, PayPal, at you made Roscoe. And there's the super thanks option that's available. That's for those who like to show their support or appreciation for what's being done on the page. Any donations, they're going to be made to any one of those spots at the bottom of the screen. And that's about it. That's it. That's all. So I will see you again soon. So until next time, be safe and be good.